I got a question for you guys. Before we get into that, this place is really nice, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Man, I tell you, I've done camps a lot of places. I mean, a lot of places. This is about as nice as it gets for where you guys are sleeping and the food you're getting, man. Like, it is as good as it gets, and we're going to take really good care of it. So before we get into kind of what we're talking about, tell you something about myself real quick, just as a little bit of a warning, and two, with seeing you guys work, I'm not worried about it one bit. But again, I've done a lot of camps before, and sometimes we're dumb, right? And I say we because I was your age once, and I was dumb then too. So I'm a pretty friendly guy. I really am, man. I'm in a great mood all the time. But just as friendly as I am on the other side, when I go from the thing I love to do more than anything else, which is help you guys out with your goals, go chasing it down, being the best wrestler and person you can be, when I have to switch that over to the thing I hate the most, being a babysitter, I hate it more than anything else, I go from being really friendly to really grumpy really fast, and you're not going to like that guy. So if you've got an idea about maybe I got a little bit extra energy and I might try and think about doing something that I maybe not supposed to do, you don't want to meet that guy. Just take my advice for it and leave him alone. He's not a whole lot of fun. You just let him stay over there in the corner. Don't bring him out. And we'll stay in the motivation, good mood, happy guy all the time, because that's where I want to be. I just want to clear that up because I've done enough camps and I know what can happen. But hopefully we're tired enough at the end of the day we're all going to bed tonight, because I know that's what I'm doing. So I got a question for you guys, a little bit into the training thing, why you guys are here. How do you eat an elephant?
A little bit at a time.
What'd you say again?
A little bit at a time.
It's how you do something big. And it's a pretty famous book and quote that talks about how you eat an elephant, because it's a big, ridiculous thing, right? You can't sit down and eat an elephant in one meal. And I've really approached a lot of the things I've wanted to accomplish in my life with that philosophy. I'm not going to do it in one bite. I'm not going to do it in one meal. I'm not going to do it in one day. I'm not going to do it in 1 month. I'm probably not going to do it in 1 year. So being far-sighted, that's what I call it, looking down the road. The later reward, I was fortunate enough that my father raised me that I understood that is so much more powerful than instantaneous reward, which so many people get addicted to. So many people get addicted to instantaneous reward. You know why you like being on your phone with social media so much? Yeah, that girl you're talking to is cute. She looks good. But it's the instant gratification, and when you put something up, people like it. It drops a chemical in our brain. It makes us feel really good. And it is addicting. You know the reason you like candy? Yeah, it's sweet and it tastes good. But that sugar instantaneously almost gets in your blood system. Drops a chemical, makes you feel good. So many of those things that give you instant rewards, you get hooked on. But really the things you're going after, guys, the things you want really in your life while you're here, it's later on down the road. There's not going to be anything instant that gets you there. Some things might seem that because the wrestling match you want to win happens in a moment. It seems like it could be instant, but what most people lose is you're doing that match right now. You're winning it or losing it right now. You're winning or losing that match tonight when you make the choice about what you're going to do with that nighttime. Am I going to sit down and take some notes? Or am I going to goof around with my buddies? Or am I going to go to bed? No, none of you guys are going to sneak out of the dorm, so I don't even have to worry about that, right? Everybody's going to stay in and be good. What choices are you going to make? Are you going to do the instant thing? Or are you going to push that reward later on down the road? It's a choice everybody has to make. And it goes back to how I eat that elephant, just one bite at a time. So we talked about changing your life when you first got here. And that's a big thing. It really is. I've seen it happen quite a bit, especially with your wrestling shoes on. That's one of the things I love about sport. It can change your life, especially at your guys' age. But it's not one big moment. Don't think you're going to win state, then all of a sudden you're a different person. Doesn't happen that way. I won state title. Guess what happened the next day? What do you think happened the next day after I won a state title? Yeah, I did go to practice. What do you think happened? Yeah, he's heard me tell this story before. Probably a lot. Nothing. That's what happened. Nothing. Nothing happened the next day. I was fortunate enough I got to coach a national champion this year, Drew Foster. He was the best wrestler in the country at 184 pounds. Beat everybody from every school all over the place. Little old Northern Iowa did it, right? You know how? Working really dang hard, doing the same thing your guys are doing. Drew Foster wasn't even a state champion. He never won state. Third's best he ever got. Pretty sure that's right. Second or third. Best he ever did. But he showed up on campus, not a big recruit. He lived really well. He worked really hard. And he believed in himself. All the things you guys are doing right now, a guy just like you. Just like you. Some of you guys are really good at wrestling, so I'm not really talking to you right now, but a guy that's just pretty good, which all you guys are, a dude ended up being the best guy in the country. I can't even explain to you how hard being an NCAA champion is, because I don't know. I've never done it. I don't know how hard that is. But I saw how hard he worked for it. So this dude had this ultimate accomplishment in wrestling, the thing people work their life for. And guess what happened the next day? Nothing. Sun came up, and it was the next day. We actually went back home after he won it. And yeah, it was a cool feeling. It was a great experience for him, but nothing changed. He didn't become a national champ in that moment. Yes, he won the match in that moment, but he was a national champ long before, probably back in high school, when he decided he was going to live his life a little bit different, when he decided he was going to train a little bit different. Listen to me, guys. I'm telling you the secret. Just most people aren't willing to do it. You've heard coaches, you've heard your parents talk about this over and over again. Look me in the eye right now because I'm dead serious. You have heard the secret before. You just haven't accepted it. Because the secret's easy. Every day matters, work your tail off. What happens going to happen. You'll be as good as you're supposed to. But the application is hard. Do you know what I mean by that? Like it's easy right now to get fired up and decide I'm in, that's me. A week from now, it's still going to be easy. A month from now, it'll be a little bit harder. A year from now, you might not even remember you made the choice to change your life. Getting up and doing it every day is the hard part, especially when you start it fresh. So just like that elephant I asked the question about at the beginning, how do you eat a bite? How do you eat it one at a time? That first day, that elephant's the same, right? He's still probably walking around happy. It's like, man, dude just took a bite out of me. That's kind of weird. After a week goes by, still hadn't affected him a little bit. He's only got 7 bites out of him. A month, he might start to get a little worried. A year, this still eating me. A year, now I'm really worried. My leg's gone. 10 years from now, I'm still eating that elephant. Then he knows I mean business. How long are you going to stick to what you want to be? That's a choice that you have to make in life. No one can make it for you. You know the difference between good and great? You know what it is? You can be good and it come from someone else. Your parents can motivate you, or your mom and dad push you. You can have the coach that pushes you, and you can be good. But the jump to being great is when it becomes real in you. Real like that pride thing we talked about, where nothing can shake it. Not a loss, not a heartbreak, not a bad month, nothing. Your world can be crashing down around you and it's real and it stays there. It doesn't bend. It doesn't even sway in the wind. It's firm and unwavering. And if I could give each of you guys a gift, it wouldn't be the wrestling technique that we're going to work on all week. And you guys are already crushing it. If I could give you guys a gift, and this is the reason I coach, so you probably should listen. If I could give each of you a gift, it's the ability to be able to do this. You say, Coach, what is that? I got my ears covered, right? You know why I have my ears covered? So I don't hear any of the noise. Man, I was lucky growing up. This thing right here, man, it wasn't around that much. I didn't have noise in my life every day. I didn't have anybody, telling me how I should live, telling me what my life was supposed to be like with pictures and and oh, this is popular, I got to be like this guy, or this is popular, I got to be like that, or that's what I want to go after. Heck no. You don't hear any of that noise. You're yourself. You go after what you want, what you decide for. It might be wrestling, it might be academics, it might be another sport, it might be your church group, it might be being a great parent one day. Whatever it is, you push your chips to the middle on, you're all in with it. And it doesn't waver. So you don't hear any of the noise. then in the same sense you close your eyes and you don't see anything else too. You don't see your buddies that are your buddies and they trying to sway you from your goals and like, man, don't go work out, come to the lake with me. Like, come on. I'm sure some of you guys can sit and think about that guy in your life right now that's trying to hold you back from what you want to accomplish. There's probably somebody you know that might hold you back from what you want to achieve. Why in the world would somebody do that? What do you think? Yeah, right? Jealousy. That's it. That's a great word to sum it up. They want to be you and don't think they can, so they're going to stop you from doing it. And you can still love those people, man. We're supposed to love everybody, but you don't have to have them in their life. When that guy tries to get you to go the other way, try and pull him. That's what love is. It's not giving the guy a hug and patting him on the back and it being fake. When he tries to pull you to go the wrong way, instead of being like, no, man, I'm not going to go smoke out in the parking lot or whatever kids do now. That was a bad thing to do when I was in high school. Whatever's bad to do now, no, I'm not doing that. You come with me. Come work out with me. Go to the soccer field with me. Come to the wrestling mat with me. Come lift weights with me. Go to the library with me and study. You show them the other way to go. And most of the time they're like, you're crazy. Then you know you're in the right spot. When somebody tells you you're crazy, when you're going after something positive, for me and the way I want to live my life, I know I'm in the right spot. I'm a big dreamer, man. That's what gets me out of bed every day. That's why I can be at a little bitty school and think we're going to win an NCAA title. It ain't belief. I just know it's going to happen. Because I know what I put into a day, and I know what my boss puts into a day, and I know what Laser puts into a day, and I know what Hodges puts into a day, and I know what Gallhofer puts into a day. We just keep adding those up, man. Nobody's going to be able to beat us. Because we're eating that elephant one bite at a time. So you don't hear any noise. You don't see those things around you. But then it goes back to it, because if you do those things, and it's you, the way you want to live, and it's authentic. It's not a copy of anybody else. It's not Michael Jordan. It's not LeBron James. It's not Jordan Burroughs. You can learn great things from those people, but you can't be them. You are you, and only you. And that's all you can be. Whatever your faith and beliefs are, I think we're created a certain way, and we don't ever get away from that. You can't. We're wired a certain way. Can't get away from that. And I see so many people that struggle out on the mat because they're trying to be somebody they're not. If you're not an angry guy, don't try and be angry when you wrestle. If you're a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, do that when you wrestle. If you do got a little bit of anger to you and that's who you are, get a little bit angry when you wrestle. Whatever you are, be it the best you can be. And what'll happen when you have your ears closed and you don't hear any noise and your eyes are shut and you don't see any distractions, you're going to start being great at whatever you are. And then you know what happens a lot of times, and this is the biggest mistake I've made, is you start being great at it, and you think you got it, and you take your hands off your ears and you open your eyes to enjoy some of it, and you should. You should enjoy what you worked hard at. When you win a big match and you get your hand raised, celebrate it, man. It's an awesome thing. You don't have to be the guy that runs on and runs off. That's me, man. Not everybody has to be that boring. If you want to celebrate, do it. But you'll start hearing things. And you'll start seeing things. And from experience, you know what messes you up? It's not the bad stuff anymore. You got your life going in a good direction. People will start telling you how great you are. People will tell you how awesome you're doing in your life. How hard you're working, the sacrifices you're making. Man, you got it together. And before you know it, you're like, that's right, I sure do. And this big thing called pride, in a bad way, that I call ego, gets in the way. And ego has a lot of meanings. If you get into philosophy, you'll find out more about it. But that's what I call the bad pride. That's my ego getting in the way. Look at me, what I'm doing. That's not what we did before, right? We shut our ears and closed our eyes. That's what got me there. I'm not hearing any noise. So what I learned on the other end of shutting my ears and closing my eyes and getting really dang good at something, you don't hear the praise either. You accept it and you love it and you thank people for it, but you don't get caught up in all the good either. Just like before you got started, you didn't get caught up in the bad. When you're at the top, you don't get caught up in the good. Because then you'll slip and lose what got you there. And before you know it, days will go by, because they always do, and because you're hearing all that good noise and you're not on the grind, staying on your craft, you start to slip. and you slide down the mountain. And then those people that are hungry, that aren't hearing all that noise, man, they're climbing to catch you. And then before you know it, it catches you by surprise. Somebody grabs your shirt tail and pulls you back and passes you. And I had to deal with that. Somebody ran on past me. And I realized, oh man, I'm hearing good noise too that's getting me. So you don't hear any noise. Only your own. Only that inner voice that you develop through work. That real thing, that real pride that you have in what you want to be about and what you want to stand for. What you want to be about and what you want to stand for. All you guys are deciding that right now. And I know that's a big, heavy thing. And be like, what's it talking about? Like, I don't get it. As you get older, you will, and some of you already do. You're making choices about who you are right now. The choices you make represent who you are. So if somebody asks, who are you? The choices you make in your life are going to represent that. And you don't get an exemption from any of them. So walking over here, right? You had conversations. You made decisions. You passed people by. You might have passed some trash that you saw or didn't see. You made choices getting here. Those actions represent who you are, just like when you wrestle in the state finals, represents who you are. You don't get to pick and choose. How you do anything is how you do everything. It's right outside our locker room door. And guys see it, and they see it, and they see it. And most of them will buy into it a pretty good bit, but the ones that buy into it all the way, how I do anything is how I do everything, things start to go through the roof. Through the roof. Because then you're taking multiple bites out of that elephant. And then you just stack the days up. And you keep the blinders on, you keep the earmuffs on, and you just stack up days. And you realize the rewards are going to be way on down the road. And then let me tell you the final trick. This is the snatch in the story. You're going to get to the end of the road, that ultimate reward you want, the biggest match of your life, and you're going to win it. And guess what's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing. You're going to get your hand raised. You're going to stand at the top of the podium, and you're going to be like, is this it? I thought it was going to be a lot better than this. It's still really good, don't get me wrong. Winning's always good, right? We always love to win. It's a good feeling. But it's not going to change your life. It's the work you did up until that point. That's why you set those goals. That's why you're here. This is part of it. Whatever goals you set for the next year, this work's going to be part of it. It's going to be part of your season. It's going to be part of your life. Remember, we don't get to pick and choose. Every day matters. We're lucky. We got another day, right? Probably everybody knows somebody that they're close to that's not that fortunate. They didn't get another day. You've got to remember those people sometimes. That'll make you step back and really appreciate what you got. Somebody that wants to wrestle and wants to be at this practice just like you do, to work just as hard as you're about to work, that doesn't get to. And if that won't change your perspective, oh, my back hurts, my knee hurts, my shoulder hurts, all this hurts. Man, I can't help you. My best friend in high school took his own life. I don't talk about it a whole lot because I will get emotional, but I talk about it because it does some healing. It was a bad situation with a girl and just being young and dumb, and that's one of the motivators in my life. Chris Whitaker, he didn't get a shot at it. He's done. He doesn't get any more days. So part of my motivation, part of my craziness, part of the reason I do some of the most ridiculous things I do is because I got to put his shoes on for him too. I owe it to him. He helped my life out. He blessed me. I got to give that back. So if you've got one of those, somebody around you, sometimes that's your motivation, man. And if you don't have anyone like close to you like that, you've lost, man, you're very fortunate. Be happy with that. There's plenty of things out there that can change your perspective. Plenty of things. We're in here in the air conditioning, right? Anybody eat that steak they had over there for dinner? Ooh, buddy. Come on now. Some people didn't get to eat tonight. It's easy to change your perspective. We're all lucky and blessed, man. We're all lucky and blessed because we're born in the United States, first of all. We can't fail, right? We got the lottery ticket. We hit the jackpot. You got it made for the rest of your life because you're born here. You just got lucky, right? You didn't have anything to do with it. Your parents took care of that. We just held our breath for a little bit on our birthday. That was it. We're so lucky. so fortunate with what we have. Do not take it for granted. Because if you want to separate yourself from the people that are your age, that's all you gotta do. Don't take a day for granted. Make the most of it you can. Eat that elephant one bite at a time. The last thing I got for you is some of the best advice I was given. And I've really started to understand, especially looking back on like my compound days and growing that thing, really what happened. All of you guys, me included, until this guy changed perspective, will overestimate what you can do in a month. You will. You'll think, I'm going to be a state champion in a month. You can't. Sorry. You can't do it. Can't do it. You got to stack up more days than that. But you'll underestimate what you can do in a year. So for me, what it was is I was overestimating what I could get done in a year and underestimating what I could get done in 10. And it was 100% right. 10 years of the compound, I never in a million years thought it was going to end up in the place it was. Still crazy to me what all happened at that place. But it was one bite at a time. And that's a big part of it. I wish you guys would have gotten to see him work. He's a little banged up now, but a big part of it. One day at a, do you want to talk about sacrifice and working hard? It was wrestling in school, and that's it. That's the reason he ended up being a D1 wrestler. No noise, that is done for sure. You guys are going to hear it from me a lot. Man, just shut that phone off. Don't let other person's opinion affect you like that. And I promise you, if you do, some of you guys, you're going to go out of here and you're not going to hear a word of it. You're going to go back to life as green. Some of you guys are going to start to change, and this is what's going to cement it. You're going to start to change, and somebody in your life will pull that shirt down, and you're like, hey, bro, what are you doing? Like, come on. And you're going to remember this. And like, oh yeah, this is real. This guy knows what he's talking about. I've been through it. I've experienced it both ways, good and bad. It's hard to be your age, man, and be great. It really is. So many distractions. It's about to be so hard to be great for you. The most distractions of your life are about to happen. Because you're on your own now. You're going to be away from your parents. Now it's really choice. Am I going to put in that extra workout, or I feel a little good? Right? It's a choice. And there's plenty of time for all of that. Plenty of time for it. Put the blinders on. Never take a day for granted. We're going to eat that elephant one bite at a time. We got it? So what we're going to do before we get going, guys, because I know we're a little stiff and sore, and especially at the end, we're going to drill pretty hard this session. A little bit of technique, but most of it's going to be review and getting after it. Show you guys how to take care of your body a little bit. Super important for my age. Some of you guys are going to think, I don't need to do this, but I promise you, you'll be thankful when you get older if you do it. So we're going to show you how to take care of your body a little bit, a little stretching, a little soft tissue work at the end. And if you buy into it, do it, you're going to feel better in the morning. And you won't have anything to compare it to, but just trust me on it. You'll feel a lot better. Then you'll one notch a little bit higher in the intensity level. Then you've gained a little bit more ground on that guy. So everybody get your wrestling shoes, get them on. Let's be on the mat in like 2 minutes. We'll stretch a little bit, then we'll start going with some technique.